Louise, it's so good to have you back, and I can't wait to hear about what you've been up to.
Thanks for inviting me to do this interview again, Billy. It's really great to talk to you.
I would love to know what you've been up to the past, 2-3 months, and kind of what you have been noticing or kind of working with others on, and how your new transition into this work has been for you.
Yeah, I've experienced kind of a shift in my life and work the last few months. As most people know, I was doing channeling for 2 or 3 years, and I went to India again earlier this year. And while I was there was some kind of transformational process happened, and the result of that was that the channeling didn't really feel relevant for me anymore, because I discovered something that felt much more profound and much more exciting for me to share with people. And I've been sharing that ever since, actually, and I call it Embodied Awareness. And really it's an invitation to recognize what I call our true nature as that which is beyond the physical realm, beyond thought, beyond beliefs, beyond the world of the changing. That which is the unchanging stillness space that's always here. And just with a simple shift in the focus of our attention, we can open to that, experience that directly, and recognize that actually that's what we are. And I love to point people to this, and also to explore whatever arises as we're sitting in presence and opening to this being, simply being. Because when everything starts to quieten down and we become still and we recognize this silence, deep silence, and I'm not talking about an audible silence. There can be a lot of noise actually going on in the environment, but this deep silence, it's always here. And when we open to this and we rest simply being here, what happens is that a lot of emotions and energies that maybe have been repressed or pushed down are given space, and they start to bubble up. So it's really a great healing and integration opportunity when that happens. And I love to support people to meet these energies with gentle, unconditional love. And in society and the way that we're brought up and we're taught, most of us are taught that we shouldn't feel a certain way. So we should be happy, and maybe our parents said to us, "What's wrong? Why are you not smiling? Why are you sad? Don't be a baby. Why are you crying?" These little comments that subconsciously teach us that we should experience certain emotions and other emotions are wrong. So anger might rise up, which is very natural. Sadness might rise up. And then we don't know what to do with that. I shouldn't be feeling this. I should be feeling peace and happiness. What's going on? And it's very confusing for our system at a young age when we're in that environment, which is usually not very supportive, or most of our caregivers, they're not really holding a space of mature unconditional love. There's many toxic relationships that children are born into And the children, they go into survival mode when they're experiencing that environment. Many times, many people, they grew up in an environment of aggression, hostility, and really it was just how to survive to get through this. So what the system does, its natural defense mechanism, is to contract. Everything tightens up. And when that contraction happens, the energy is not able to flow freely, and it gets stuck in the system and it gets repressed. And we learn different techniques how to avoid feeling that. So some people will learn how to numb themselves because there's just so much pain, it's unbearable. Some will learn how to avoid it by bringing the energy or the tension out of the body and really not feeling. And some people will start to drink alcohol, take drugs, seek nourishment on the outside through food, through sex, many different ways. Humans have really become masters at this. And most of us are walking around with these traumatized little children inside of us. So when we become still and we drop the attention into the body and we allow ourselves really to very gently start to feel, how does it feel in the body? The system starts to open because it feels safe. Wow, I'm receiving attention now. I'm receiving love because we've turned our attention within rather than out there seeking for love. We turn it within, and then these energies start to bubble up to the surface. And that's the opportunity for us to feel the sensations. And as the energies are felt in this love, then they start to dissipate, they start to move, they start to flow freely, creating more space in the system so that higher consciousness energies can enter, more light enters. And it's not even that it enters actually, it's that is already within us, but it's kind of covered up by these traumas, these repressed energies, these filters of fear, anger. And as that dissipates, that light from within starts to radiate out, it starts to shine more. And really I've seen it affects every aspect of life, from how we walk and move and hold our bodies, to how we speak, to how we interact with other people, the choices that we make. And it seems that the energy that really is within us it's reflected back to us on the outside. So you'll see that if a person is carrying a lot of anger within, they will probably experience throughout the day many aggressive situations because that anger magnetizes more anger towards them, and it will unconsciously project onto others. The person might react with that anger because it's kind of running the show underneath. Even if we try to push it down, it's a force within us that's expressing itself through our life. So it's a little paradoxical what I've discovered, because when we absolutely stop doing anything and just become totally still, really do nothing, only be, that is when our system opens, when we have absolutely no agenda even to change or fix or heal anything or become anything. Our system opens and all of this transformation just happens by itself, simply by allowing ourselves to feel the sensations. And it just leaves me in awe. And I just love to do this non-doing, just to sit in presence together and open to the divine, open to our true nature. And this is what I've been doing now, and for me it's very powerful and beautiful, and I just fell in love with this.